Here is over 50 million loot and the only way to get it is by going through this extreme maze filled with spring traps, skeletons and the big cat. The result was insanely funny. But sometimes things didn't go as planned and I had to use the old big red button.
Bring me my money.
It was April the 1st and the very moment I opened my eyes in the morning I felt like trolling someone. I did a quick morning workout with my buddy Rock. Drank a cup of black tea, and I was ready to go. My brain had finally waken up and generating an idea for a good troll base was as easy as ABC. Since I am not only creating educational content but also doing some art from my free time, then I had to wrote also my signature at the bottom of the base like the real artists do. The base was ready and it was time to find out if anyone will be able to get all the way through the maze. Yes guys, finally I have my first ever sponsor on this channel and that is my mom. Every day she provides me with my vital for life superfood curry noodles, so I have plenty of muscle power to keep editing these videos for you all. So please leave a like for my mom because she said that 1 like equals 1 bowl of curry noodles for me, and I need those noodles badly. From the moment the first attacker arrived it was clear to me that my man Popcorn June doesn't know how to fly a dragon, and straight up he crashed one of his electro dragons into the Great Grand Canyon at the outskirts of my base. Not gonna lie, I wasn't too happy that in the place of a once beautiful Grand Canyon there was a huge dragon booty laying next to my base. My $1 million view was gone, but what was not gone was the high IQ attacker that was now attempting to break into the base with his orange spinners, but not even the yellow piss of a spell couldn't save them from the humiliation that they received by attacking the base from the wrong side. I do have to pay him some respect though, because my guy knows the importance of having hero level equality, which is a very rare sight to see these days. Then all of a sudden my neighbor Melon Musk called me asking why is there a massive electro dragon looking into his base, and then I had to explain that one of the attackers didn't know how to fly a dragon. As I was preparing for our next visitor I noticed something shocking. It was the fact that this maze base was outperforming my Kwasang base, which is mainly meant for farming. But for some reason this troll base was beating it big time. In order to be 100% sure whether I have found a new farming base for myself I needed more proof, and then Cads came. As soon as I saw that he is also attacking from the wrong direction I realized I am not in Bronze Pro League where people have higher understanding of how to attack troll bases. So my plan was to stay in Champions for another one attack, and if that is not going to be from the bottom right side then I will speedrun back to my favorite league in Clash of Clans. Cads arrived with a Winter King who obviously didn't like the spoiling hot Sahara weather, and soon enough his sword made of ice melted. Shadow Queen on the other hand seemed to be better equipped for this type of climate, as she had picked that massive umbrella sized hat from her wardrobe, but to be honest even that didn't protect her too well. Since I am a generous person then I brought over that big ice cube with legs to cool her off, but my archer queen was simply not allowing other women into the base, so she had to eliminate the enemy queen. Then the main portion of the attack started, and for some reason my dude decided to sentence all of his miners into instant death by deploying them right next to my army of Larrys. Not only he wanted to get rid of his miners but also the rest of his army, as we can see from the way they all stand together at the one place so they can get that little shower from the irrigation sprinkler of mine. I will definitely give him some style points for that deeply strategic jump spell deployment, so the 3 archers he is about to deploy can benefit from. So far I haven't suffered any significant resource losses, but then this happened. When I saw it I knew that I am never going to emotionally recover from this. My day was ruined. My mood was zero. All I wanted to do was to control you guys a little bit. It wasn't my maze base that got absolutely robbed but the Kwasang. I was simply testing the Kwasang for 1 defense, and indeed it was rubbish for farming at the current state of the game, so I had to find my video and change the title for something more accurate. I have to say that even though defense wise it might not work so well anymore, it's still one of the baddest looking designs in my opinion. Anyway, as you can see we have here in the defense log person called TTT who dared to steal almost 200k from me. That was more than the previous 2 attackers looted, and I took it personally. I pressed the red button, and now it was time for me to take back everything, even though my storages were already filled, but I still wanted to cause some economic crisis to his village for touching my resources. Best way to cause some 3-star destruction is to use the good old goblins. I sieged the village from every single angle and soon his base started to look rather empty. If you are wondering what is my secret to 3-starring with goblins, then it is this jump spell placement. If you know how to do that, then you don't have to worry about anything. Since being in Champions and Titans was way too easy, then I had to increase the difficulty by going back to the Bronze Pro League. In matter of minutes I was ready for the second round. I don't know how is it possible, but every time I go to Bronze I am being greeted by one of those octopuses attacking my base. The sad truth is that this bot stole a lot more from me than anyone in Champions League. So I guess I got to give some props to the computer bot. Next up we have Chris, and Chris is the first one who was smart enough to actually attack from the bottom right side. He decided to take his old man for a walk in the labyrinth, and let me tell you how happy the big cat was, because his jaws haven't seen any meal for days, and even though typically he wouldn't eat that old meat, then today he was ready to munch down every kind of meat there is to fill his empty stomach. While the old man was standing next to that statue looking at his own future self, the tiger got distracted by the little red Mini Cooper approaching the base. Like all the big cats, they like to play sometimes, and so did he by biting the tires, which caused the red Mini to explode. Obviously Chris didn't like that, so he sent in an army of archers and a BK for backup. They did manage to beat the big cat, but I also had backup coming that was a lot more deadly than couple of archers. Despite the fairy's best efforts to keep the Bald Powerlifter Association alive, they still couldn't walk around the maze too long until they had to pack their bags and head back to the gym to become stronger. Then I noticed that something is going on in the shop. It was the brand new village background for just $6.99. Since the map was black and black is my happy color, then it was an instant purchase, and once again I was ready to welcome new visitors to my base. I didn't have to wait too long until another old man appeared to have some evening walk in my backyard alongside with hundreds of green dudes who probably came to loot my base after a Green Day concert. As these red mohawk haircut dudes were running through the maze, I was pretty confident they can't steal too much, as I calculated out fairly precisely the distance from the spawn area to the storages, but I completely forgot he had one of those names, and people from these regions typically have some tricks upon their sleeves. But so did I. I had the revenge button, and I was most certainly going to use it to cause as much economic crisis as possible. Unfortunately, due to some complications with the army trained, I didn't get all the loot from the base. That was a little bit of an L from my side. But that wasn't the last revenge. My guy Rizal thought he was being smart with his sneaky goblins, but here you can see exactly what I talked about earlier. By the time max level sneaky goblins arrive to the storages, their invisibility has ran out, and all they can do is have a little sniff at the gold and then say goodbye. He took some loot from me and I took some loot back. Then I received one very high IQ level attack that was absolutely brilliant from the get-go. First of all, he did a little tickle to the eagle artillery, but the tickle was so weak that the eagle didn't even blink his eye. I don't know why, but then there was a 15-second pause where he didn't do anything. Maybe he was celebrating his successful start of the attack. Then he decided to send in 3 heroes that almost died to the big cat if he didn't use every single hero ability. Then he did an absolute amazing job with the minor funnel that we can all learn from. After I saw his minor funneling, I was genuinely surprised why he has not been recruited by JX Tiger or Queen Walkers yet, because he definitely smells like the next best Clash of Clans pro player. All jokes aside, I felt so sorry for his attack that I sent the big cat to apologize for all the potential emotional damage the maze base might have caused. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, then I am 99% sure you will also like this video I picked out for you. Have a lovely day.